Yeah.
And what do you make now?
And last year I made $558,000.
It's a big jump.
It's just a small
A
jump.
little bit different, like probably like a couple extra zeros from what you made before.
My name is Austin Tucker, and I'm on a mission to find the best come-up stories in the world. Everyone talks about success, but no one talks about the in-between. The mess, the risk, the doubt. I'm here for the people who made it anyway and are willing to tell their stories honest, unpolished, and real. These are the Breakout Bunch.
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me. I'm Daniel Snow. I'm 27, and I run a solar sales team, door-to-door sales.
In Boston, right?
Yeah.
I knew that. I used to live with you.
Familiar face.
Daniel is a longtime friend and probably one of the hardest working men that I know. But what was your first job?
Ooh, that's a good one. Since I was like 13, I always worked just whatever I could before I ended up legally being allowed to work. But we did like a snack bar for under the table, just cash, at like a sports park. Because I just want to make money.
At a skate park, right?
Sports park.
The sports park?
Yeah. And
what'd you make?
I was making, I think, $10 an hour cash, which was awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I was rolling in dough at that point.
Yeah, it's enough to go to the vending
as a 13-year-old kid. Yeah.
Yeah, you go to the vending machine at the skate park, you're good.
Yeah. And so, but you know, fast forward to 16 years old, my first job was actually selling golf clubs over the phone for Warrior Golf, which was just a random golf company. And I made one sale, which I butchered, and it was to my dad's best friend, who even said how terribly I did.
Okay, so your first sales job.
My first
What'd you
job was
make?
a sales job.
$200?
I never actually made enough to make commission because it was hourly, and then you get commission if you exceed your hourly.
Okay.
I never did that. No, not even close.
Okay, so you made like maybe minimum wage.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
For a month.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
It was about 2 months in there. I was like, I don't think this is for me. I don't think I'm a salesperson. That was my conclusion.
Okay, so what do you do now in a brief description, and what do you make now?
So now I run a sales team. I've run sales teams for the last about 4 years in solar. So we do residential solar, and we actually sell door-to-door. And last year I made $558,000.
It's a big jump.
It's just a small jump.
A little bit different, like probably like a couple extra zeros from what you made before, and maybe even like a few extra digits.
Just a few extra. Yeah, it's been good. It's been a long time coming. I've definitely worked my tail off for it, but
and you have like a pretty interesting story coming up to it too. Like you tried a few different industries and went to school and stuff what's a little bit about that?
I originally wanted to become a jeweler because I had this this fascination with jewelry. It was like kind of a passion, right? And I followed a lot of these celebrity jewelers like Ben Baller and a lot of these guys. And I think the biggest thing that like captivated me was the lifestyle they lived and the lifestyle they could afford. And I just wanted it. I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I was like, screw it. I'm just going to figure out a way, no matter what it is, to just live comfortably and be able to, bear those fruits of life. And fast forward to 19 years old, I just wanted to find a way to make myself like uncomfortable, bring myself out of my comfort zone, and into a new environment. So I moved from California to New York with nothing just but a suitcase.
I remember that. Everyone thought you were crazy.
Everyone thought I was nuts.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest decision I ever made in my life. Reason why is just because that put me in an uncomfortable position where the smallest things, like I just didn't even know how to like take a subway. Like I had never done that. And I didn't
You're alone.
Nobody moved me out there. It was just like I took a flight and I just ended up finding my way. I remember when I moved there, I got out of my taxi. He was like, can I just drop you off here? And I thought I was close to my place. I walked for about 45 minutes, actually circled the building I had an apartment leased with, and just didn't know where the hell I was. And I was like, all right, well, that's the hardest part of my day is over. So
it's like the most cliche thing I've ever heard. Moved to New York and got lost immediately, and the little kid in the big city.
Quite literally, yeah. It was fun. So
then you moved back to California, and you made like a different change at that point. Like your mindset shifted. You realized that jewelry might have not been the thing.
Yeah. So when I was in New York, I worked for a diamond broker, and I realized pretty quickly if you're not owning a business in jewelry, which takes obviously a lot of capital, and I just, I didn't come from a family that can just throw me that kind of money, you're just not going to make any significant strides.
Yeah.
And so for me, my biggest thing was, okay, I'm not getting paid much. I'm working like a dog. And I'm realizing that there's just not another like level to this that I can get to pretty easily. And the biggest thing that was frustrating is I was working really hard, but just not really getting compensated or like appreciated for it. So that changed my entire mindset. So I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to do this anymore. And I quickly realized a passion is not what you should chase. You should be chasing your strengths and any sort of like skill sets you have, even if it's not a passion to you.
Yeah.
Because that will afford any life you want to get to that, next level that can allow you time to have passions, right? Do whatever you want at that point. But just find a stepping stone to get there. It doesn't have to be that if you love art, you can always be an artist. But there's just no reason to bust your ass when you're not making any money and just suffer because of it. Like, find a day job, find something to do, and find your skill set and just do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing. So, I moved back to California, moved in with my dad, and I was like, I'm gonna go to college, and studied really hard. Found that I was a decent student when I applied myself. Like I definitely wasn't a promising student growing up. Like in high school, I was very average. Just kind of slipped, like barely got by. Just to
you were never there.
Quite literally.
I was there, and you were not.
I was never at school, so that was not my strong suit. But I realized quickly when I tried, I was like, I applied myself in college, and quickly I had a 4.0 GPA. I was just like, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of fun because I want to do this now, right? And I got to give props to my dad for that because he never forced me to go to school, which when you force a kid to go to school, they're just going to try to get by on the minimum just like I did in high school.
Which is crazy. You got by like on the minimum, and then you got accepted into BU, which is like a pretty good school.
Yeah.
Not really easy to get into.
Yeah, it was definitely, that was like a huge achievement in my life and definitely a pivotal point. I applied to a bunch of schools, and I got an academic scholarship offer for San Francisco University. And then I got into Boston University. And at that point, my dad's like, dude, like, yeah, scholarships are great, but think about just get to the best school possible, put yourself in the best position possible. And my goal for college was I wanted to go into something that would pay well. So I actually just looked up the highest paid majors for college, and I found that finance is actually the highest paid.
Okay.
And then I just said, cool, I'm a finance guy now.
Yeah, as a finance guy.
Like that's all I did.
That's really accurate.
Well, now, yeah, of course, in hindsight, it's 2020, but like at the time, I was like, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't have any interest in accounting or finance or any sort of like business. I knew I had a business mind and I loved numbers, but like I just didn't really think that that was what I would go for. And then I just applied and got in, and I just like it's funny because I actually wrote my essay to get into BU on. I played a lot of poker at the time, and I played in the World Series a couple of years in a few different tournaments, and that was a passion of mine. But I was actually like good at it, which is cool. And so I wrote my essay to get into BU on playing poker and gambling, and so they were just like, "Who is this kid?" And he's just like out of left field, and they liked it. So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I'm gonna use these strengths that I thought were like weaknesses in a way to just propel forward. And then got in school, studied. I was pretty good. I was like just like upper middle of the pack, nothing crazy. But I got to a point where I interned at an investment banking firm over the summer, and I realized how little I liked it. Actually, I realized how much I hated it.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, okay, I really got to figure out what I want to do, because I don't want to continue for 2 more years in school. But I need to make sure I can find a way to make money. And my goal was like, I was looking into trying to, go into Airbnb arbitrage, like just anything that could make me money.
Yeah, anything on Instagram that made it seem like it was really profitable, but
exactly.
Like it's a scam.
Yep. Yeah. Quite literally.
It's just content.
I was like, how can I make money? And I was just following all these, content creators, and I was like, I just wanted to do something, but nothing was promising enough, obviously. So I had a friend who told me, hey, we sell solar. I sell solar, and, you can make all this money, and this is great, and da-da-da-da. And I was like, where do you get these leads from? They're like, no, we knock on doors. And I was like, huh? They're like, yeah, we knock on doors and sell solar. It's cold knocking door to door. And I was like, that is absolutely absurd, and you'll never catch me doing that. I was like, no chance. And I thought I was like too good for it in a way or whatever, which is like, it's just this weird like stigma behind it.
Mindset shift of
Yeah.
like you're never too good for something that
Yeah.
has results.
Yeah. It like humbles you. Right. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing that. And then I proceeded, that was like through the internship. I just didn't like it. And then I called them back. I was like, all right, I want to hop on a call. Like it was summer break. And I was like, I want to hop on a call with your manager. And like they gave me the rundown and told me just like the the potential of earnings in door-to-door sales, which nobody really realizes. Everyone assumes if you're knocking on doors, you're getting paid the least. It's actually the opposite.
Yeah, I did it with you, and the amount of times I was told to get a real job. I mean, I'm still in mortgage getting told to get a real job, and it's like I make more than you do in a year, in a month.
Yeah, I love having a fake job.
Yeah, it's great. And I have the freedom to do all sorts of things that no other job would let me do.
Yeah, you can afford the time. You can buy back your time, right?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of cliche saying that because everyone says it, but it's so true because you can make what people try to make in a year in a month.
Yeah, like your best month was something like 125 grand, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a ton of months that are like, obviously it's a fully commission, so it's up and down, up and down. But my first year in solar, I made $300K, and that was commission in my pocket. And basically, the what happened with BU was they told me I could take up to 4 semesters off.
Yeah.
And no repercussions. So I was like, I could take a leave of absence and try out solar. So I was like, hey, Dad, like, I'm not dropping out, but I want to take a leave of absence. He's like, dude, go for it. And that's like one thing he's always been so supportive of. He's like, if you think that if you have an instinct inside you that tells you to do something, do it. And I didn't think twice. I just said, cool.
So your dad was super supportive. What about all your friends?
My friends were not supportive.
Yeah, I was one of them,
including you.
Yeah, no, yeah. I thought it was
called
crazy.
me crazy.
I thought it was crazy.
Which is fair. And that kind of made me want to prove you guys wrong more. And I'm still to that to this day.
And it's funny, on a different episode I had, we talked about the mindset of if someone tells me I can't do it, like that's the best mindset to have is I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Even if you don't believe in yourself.
Fires me
It's
up.
just fires you up.
Oh, yeah. No, without a doubt, dude. Like, the second that someone... I had the other day, someone posted me on Instagram, and they're, like, trying to bash me because he coincidentally got demoted when I got promoted to run a team. And he was just, like, posting me publicly, and I didn't even react to it because I'm like, I love that. When people hate you or and there's no reason to, like...
Dude, haters are your motivators.
It's just best feeling. It means it shows you you're doing something right. Yeah. Whoa. Jinx. But yeah. So long story short, I end up moving with my dad back from BU. So I went from New York to back to California to Boston, and now I'm back to California. And people are like, "Dude, pick a side. Where are you going? Like, pick a career path and just follow it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I'm just not going to do that."
Well, the funny thing is, I was the one that got you back to Boston.
You actually did. That's crazy.
We were about to go sign a lease, and I was like, "Let's just get out of here." And you're like, "No, I really think you should try the solar thing like here." And I was like, "No, like we should just leave." And on like a week's notice, we just decided, "All right, fuck it, we're leaving." Broke the lease.
Yeah.
And then I went to Boston with you.
Off. Yeah.
Never visiting Boston, and that was a crazy move on my part.
Yeah.
But I just blindly trusted you that it was going to be a good time, and we lived there for a year and a half together, and it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. Now, I didn't stick with solar. I'm not a door-to-door guy. It's just very clear. But you stuck out there and you made like waves. Like you got promoted to multiple different offices. Now you're running this new team.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy what hard work will get you.
Yeah, it's definitely in hindsight, like I moved wherever I knew that I could have better opportunity. So when I was in solar here, it was good. I was making good money, but I just wanted to level up, and I actually just looked for the top team in the entire company, and then we moved there. And I was like, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, what are they doing there? Like, what's their secret sauce? Like, is it the culture? What is it? And I, found pretty quickly, I mean, with our first meeting there, we're like, it's the culture.
Yeah, it's
Like,
the culture.
It is absolutely the culture that drives this.
Yeah,
entire
watch someone
region.
get their armpits waxed.
I was gonna say,
while drinking a PBR out of a boot.
it was a crazy. That first meeting was like Wolf of Wall Street esque.
Yeah, it was fun.
But like, yeah, the bigger picture was like, I just wanted to be in a better position, and I realized quickly with going to New York, going to Boston, going wherever, just go where the opportunity is. It doesn't matter where. And if you don't have kids, you don't have a family, you don't have anything tying you down, why are you staying here? Right? Why are you staying in your hometown or whatever it is that's holding you back? There's so much opportunity out there, and you just need to move to it. And if you're there at the right time, opportunity will find you. Right? So for us, like, thanks to you, because like you helped influence that decision a ton, because it would have been me doing it by myself. And you're like, dude, let's move to Boston. And I was like, yes, absolutely. And
it was not that easy, but I'll let you have it.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that easy. But
I was just so gung-ho that you like kind of caught the bug at one point.
Yeah, I was like, that would be fun. And that's actually the probably the most pivotal moment in my career, because of course I made good money when I was here. I was making about $300,000, and
which is crazy to say. That was half of what you're making now.
Yeah,
and some people like will never hit those numbers.
And that's the thing, because a lot of people are just scared to take a leap.
Yeah, they're scared of leaving the comfortable 9 to 5 that you got to report to someone, but you always get a paycheck. Yeah. And that's just not how you change the trajectory of your life.
Yeah.
Unless you're chasing some crazy C-level position that takes 20 years to get. Like, there's always options that do make sense, but for the most part, that's not
it just doesn't happen
everyone.
Often. Yeah. The biggest thing is like people are honestly just scared to take a leap of like, for example, I'm fully commissioned. Yeah. So I don't have a base salary. I don't have hourly. I don't have any benefits. So that actually, like, you pay her health insurance and all that out of pocket, which people look at as crazy. I was on the golf course yesterday, and I was talking to this kid who's in software sales, and he's like, yeah, I'm not used to this. It's so uncomfortable. And I was like, oh, are you like fully commissioned? He's like, no. Oh, absolutely not. He's like, that'd be crazy. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I mean, insane.
And I told him, and he was like, kind of like looking at me cockeyed. He's like, wait, so, because what I told him was, I would rather have no base at all. I'd rather you not pay me $1 consistently. I'd rather be fully commissioned any day of the week.
Yeah, because there's no cap. Like,
exactly.
You can make an unlimited amount of money theoretically, as long as you have your time.
Yeah, there's tons of offers out there, 150K base, and you have like a potential to make like $30,000 in bonuses. It's like that's not fun. Like, that is not fun. Like, the fun of sales is knowing that you are the machine, and if you turn off, like, everything stops, right? So
that's the scary part too, though, because like in both of our industries, our sales cycles are somewhere between 20 and 30 days, and you don't realize that you took too long of a break, because money still comes in from past sales,
of course,
and then after, like, you take like 2 to 3 weeks off, that's when you start feeling the pain of like, oh, I wasn't front loading my production.
Yeah.
And now the money's drying, and like, I'm kind of fucked right now. Like, I need to get back on the bowl.
It's an emotional game, if you let it.
So how do you handle things like burnout or like, imposter syndrome or anything like that, where like you just work your ass to the point of like, I can't.
I mean, with burnout, like,
because we all have it. It's inevitable.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, and when I tell people this, they're confused. I'm like, spend your money. And they're like, huh? I'm like, I know. Everyone's going to tell you to save every penny you make. Like,
no, if you don't have fun, you'll drive yourself insane.
Yeah.
Like those nights at the club or whatever, you spent a little too much. It's got to work a little harder the next few days. But like, that's what makes it worth it, is like
spend your money.
Out.
Yeah. Like, don't go splurge, like, and spend everything and like get yourself in a bad position. But like,
we're all going to do, we've all made money while we were young and made some poor decisions.
Oh, of course. I've been there too. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've bought a lot of random stuff that I shouldn't have bought. But like, the biggest thing is just spend your money. So like, when you get a sale, like, have a routine, right? Have a routine to like, cool, I got a sale today. And then once you're like, all right, getting a sale is good. I got, X amount paycheck, or I made X amount this month. Make that your next milestone, where when I make X amount in a month, I'm taking, my significant other on vacation for the weekend, or if you're single, take a good friend that you care about, right? Like, that is a big thing that will actually contribute to your overall mental health, because stability is key in sales.
Yeah.
And if you're always working, it's just going to have this like insane imbalance. Like, I believe in living in imbalance, because then in the future you can have a life with a balance. But there's a level of like, have that one day off a week, right? Like that's what I do. I take Sundays off. I work Monday through Saturday, and that Sunday is like, I'm just trying to chill, right? So like, celebrate your wins, like small wins, even if like, because in the beginning you need small wins, otherwise you feel like you're not going anywhere, right? So I'm a firm believer in that.
Have you ever hit a point where you're like, I'm gonna quit?
Oh, for sure. Like that. If you haven't, like,
What happened?
just strap in. Just wait. So
I have quit, by the way. I quit mortgage to go to solar. Then I quit solar to go back to mortgage. I've been there.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, but yeah, like your strong suit is like is mortgage. Solar was a good opportunity in terms of like earning.
Yeah, it kept me afloat in the time. But
exactly.
like, what was that moment where you were like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna quit. And then, how'd you bring it back?
Probably the first 6 months of the job, I was like, dude, this isn't working.
Yeah, you're just getting screamed at the door.
My first,
right.
Yeah, my first day, knocking on doors in Huntington Beach, and I remember the first time was someone goes, you know, you're so stupid, and it was just so genuine. I was like, holy shit.
My favorite was always, why don't you get a real job?
Yeah, real job is great, and now I just feed off that. It feels so good because like in door to door, like your reward is so high that like if you're looking at knocking on however many doors, you're like, oh, I'm making $700 for every door I knock on, or whatever your like rate is, right? Depending on your ratio of like knocks to sales and closes or whatever. But now it's just you gamify it, and that's the thing, because burnout is usually when you're just like not stimulated, you're not having fun, you're not excited, right?
Well, so I feel like the burnout usually comes when you hit a point of comfort. Yeah, like you will never burn out if you're broke. Like you don't have an option to burn out because you're not going to be able to pay rent. Yeah. Well, and you're not going to be able to go to the bar or get food or whatever. And then like the times where burnout comes is where like, I got 50 grand. Like I can take some time off, and you like can convince yourself into a burnout almost because you have a safety net. Yeah. I was going to say, cause it's a double-edged sword, right? Making decent money, like that middle ground of like making a few $100,000. It's awesome. It's exciting. You're coming into more money than you've ever experienced. And that's how I was really excited. And like, I would take, close friends like you. Remember when we went to like Nobu and whatever it was, I would just like go spend money, and it was fun. But I realized quickly, I'm like, all right, I'm getting bored. I need to find something to do. Yeah, you can only go to Omakase so many times and drop $300 on your friend. As much as I love that. It was super fun. It still is great. Yeah. Like I do it with my friends. Like I just want to go have fun, and I want my friends to enjoy their time with me and stuff. Yeah. But you can't just do, like, it gets old. Yeah. It gets really expensive. Well, it has these diminishing returns. Yeah, it does get expensive. It has these diminishing returns to it. So, like, it's fun for a little while, and then you find that, like, okay, I've done this too many times. And at one point, you're like, okay, what's next? Like, what's next for me? How can I build, right? And so that's where you have to have just a higher goal. So when you hit a goal, don't rest on your laurels for too long. Celebrate, have fun, right? But find the next step. So what's your goal? Well, so originally my goal was, I wanted to make, I think I wanted to make $500,000, and then I hit that point, right? And then I was like, okay, money goals are good, but there's an extent where, like a point where it just doesn't do anything for you. Yeah. So for me, it was real estate. So for me, I was like, okay, this year I'm buying a multifamily, and I'm going to buy investment property. That was my next goal. And it was crazy because you did that like within 2 months of making that goal. Yeah. So it happened really fast. And that's proof that like that if you have a goal that like is just higher than where you're at, and it's something tangible, like it's an asset you're going after, whatever it is, like something, whether it's like the apartment you want to get into, right? Like say you're living in an apartment, you just don't like your surroundings, whatever. You're like, all right, I want to get my own place. And that's a good goal, because like the reward you get from having your own place is so much higher than the reward of being like, I want to make $10,000 in a month or whatever. Yeah. And like when I moved back from Boston, I was living in my buddy's guest room, and it was so uncomfortable that like all I wanted to do was go get my own place, no roommate, nothing. And like within like, what was it, like 2 months or something like that. It was so quick. I just made it happen. I just worked my ass off to make sure I could. And I remember like the first month or two, I was like, I don't even know if I can really afford this. Yeah. But it fires you up though. Like a month or two after, I had paid 6 months of my lease in advance. Mm-hmm. And I realized that, like there kind of is a system. Like if you overextend yourself, like you'll make it happen. you don't want to do it too far. Like,
Exactly.
it'd be
There's a
different to
level.
get like an apartment in a Lamborghini and just be like, I'll have to figure this out.
If I get 2 McLarens, like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I remember that feeling of like, I felt like I was getting somewhere, and that pushed me to go further. And now my goals just increasingly are getting higher and higher and higher. Like,
Yep.
you have a system that I love and I actually implement to this day, where you just need to make yourself uncomfortable at a certain amount of money in your bank, and then just keep doubling it up.
Yeah.
And I remember when I thought $5,000 in my bank account was crazy,
Yeah.
and now like it just keeps growing.
Yeah.
And like it's like I want my stock account to just
change
keep
your
growing.
standards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, change your standards and just have just like the second you hit your goal and like you feel like you're comfortable, just that means there's a problem there.
Yeah, yeah. You should find discomfort in comfort almost.
Yeah.
Because then you're not growing.
Comfort in discomfort. Yeah.
You can do either way.
Oh, true.
It does work both ways.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, what is your long-term goal though? Like, so you went and got real estate. You ended up recently selling one of your houses.
Yeah.
And you made a pretty reasonable profit in a year. It
Yeah.
made like $70,000 in a year, which is insane.
I bought it. Yeah, I bought it. And I held it for 9 months and then flipped it for 70 more. So it was
Which is
cool.
definitely not common, but
It was good.
you made a really good purchase at a good time.
The it sounds crazy, but this is actually how I got my properties so far. Is I've used the tactic of ready, fire, aim. I don't know if you heard about that. Have you?
No.
Okay. So ready, fire, aim. Just the concept of it is you don't need to aim. You don't need to think about all these outcomes and these like what ifs. If you are in a position where you have the down payment and you're ready to and not ready, but you have the down payment and you have a approval letter, whatever it is, what are you waiting for? Why are you shopping around and nitpicking and this and that? Just do it. Figure it out.
Well,
And-
one of my favorite things along those lines is there's a cost of waiting.
Absolutely.
And you use that on the doors all the time. I'm pretty sure I got that from you.
Yeah.
If you wait, prices are going to go up. So the fact that you took a time where interest rates were like 8.5%.
Mm-hmm.
And
I had a 9% interest rate on my multifamily.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you took a time where everyone's holding on the sidelines, and now they're not stoked for not making a decision because now since they waited, rates are down a little bit, but now the house is $70,000 more. So the cost of waiting was literally $70,000.
Quite literally. Like I didn't do anything to that house, not a single thing. and then I flipped it and sold it. So like that was the thing is absolutely the cost of doing nothing is actually very expensive no matter what you're doing.
It's incredibly expensive.
Yeah. And for me, I pulled the trigger on it and just did it, right? And that's the thing. So that's the ready, fire, aim method. It's just there's no calculating this and that and what ifs. When people calculate all these what ifs, they waste time, and half your time will be wasted in thinking about the outcomes when you could just actually see what it is. And if it's bad, you figure it out.
Yeah.
And you learn, right? And if it
If
wasn't
you're
a
not
bad
failing,
outcome,
you're not like progressing and learning in your life.
yeah, if it wasn't a bad outcome, like if it was a good income, awesome, you won, right? But if the outcome was a terrible outcome, like you're going to learn and you'll come back 10 times stronger.
Yeah, you can't just dwell on it. You need to look at it and go, where did I go wrong? What happened?
Yeah.
What can I do better the next time? And you'll crush whatever you were doing before.
Yeah, and more. Like people are so scared of risk when risk is actually what makes you grow. Like that's a huge fundamental belief in my life because like that's what's gotten me here. I've hopped around and done so many different random things that for me it's like without that risk and just like going against the grain and people telling me like I'm just crazy for doing X, Y, and Z. Like you told me and a few other friends told me like, dude, what are you doing? You're throwing your life away for this door-to-door sales
I
job.
didn't go that crazy on you. But
and you're like, I'll never talk to you again. And
the risk thing is really true though, because like there's so many ways to talk yourself out of doing something good for yourself, especially at our age where everyone around you, they almost don't want you to succeed. But also, we were talking about something the other day. Every time you run into a buddy or something, it's like, yeah, I'm doing big business things.
Oh my God, dude, don't get me started.
It's just like, well, but you're not. Like, it's different because like there are people actually doing it, but for the most part, people just want to sound important. But they'll say that you're crazy because you're like how you got to where you are now. The beginning of it
Was unconventional.
you seemed crazy.
Yeah.
But now they feel crazy because like they were wrong and like you're proving that. So now they have to like almost look like they're doing what you're doing.
It's not even like a me thing. It's just like I notice that anywhere I go, and I go out and like I'll run into someone from high school or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, how you been? And they can't help but like jump to like what they're like. Yeah, I'm starting X, Y, and Z, and this is gonna be really, really profitable,
huge,
be giant. And I'm like, dude, just work in silence. Like I don't think anyone actually knows what I do for a living, and I don't think like I've ever posted about it, talked about it. I just don't.
The
like,
thing is, there's
people just want to know, like, oh, where'd Daniel go? He disappeared off the face of the earth. And of course, there's a balance, right?
Well, there's a second side to it because, you know, you look at it like they're just saying it to say it, but there's also a place where like you're using it as like a proof of concept almost. Like if you tell enough people, if nobody's on your side, it might be because like it's actually not a good idea.
True.
But if you tell enough people, like, you know, like I was doing with this podcast, I was like, you know, super cliche. I'm starting a podcast. I'm interviewing entrepreneurs. It's been done a million times. But the whole idea is young entrepreneurs that are doing something that is relatable. You know, like anyone can get in door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
Anyone can go get a mortgage license.
Entry.
Someone can go be a hairdresser and make a couple $100,000 a year. There's jobs that are unsuspecting, but whenever you're talking about doing those, no one is on your side usually. But if you tell enough people and they're like, you should go do that, it's going to push you to do that. And that could be the differentiator of you sticking at your safe job and going out of the way. Granted, when you meet your friend on the street, it's probably not looking for social.
Like satisfaction or like
no, like what's it called? Like social approval, whatever.
Oh, okay. Like, oh yeah. So like, yeah. There's, and I'm not saying that like talking about what you're doing is bad. I'm saying if
talking about something you're doing when you're not doing it,
if you're inflating it, yeah, it's just like I think the best way to flex is just not flex at all. Like, just, like. If people see you doing well, or if they question what are you up to, or whatever, I think that's like I'm a firm believer. Like that gets you way further. And like the last thing you want to do is like try to act big, and you don't know who you're talking to. Like you could be talking to a random person, and they could be worth $40 million. And if you're talking about X, Y, and Z, and this and that, and Macho Man, it's like, and he's like, oh, cool. And like it's funny because like actually I had a friend. This happened to him the other day, and there was this dude talking his ear off about what he does and how much money he thinks he's going to make next year and this and that. And my buddy's just like, oh, nice, dude. Cool. And he's like, I can tell you make a lot of money because you just don't care about what I'm saying. he's like, yeah. And he made 730 grand last year in solar, door-to-door. And he's like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, I do well. Like, that's basically the approach that people don't expect, but it feels better, actually, internally. Like,
no, it does.
Yeah, of course, have fun, flex, like wherever that makes you feel good, like celebrate yourself.
Well, I feel like early on in the process is like you almost feel like you have to flex to prove what you made was a good decision. Like, you know, you want to post on Instagram that you got bottle service, you got a bottle of Class A, you know, paid $1,500 for a $200 bottle of alcohol.
Yeah, you feel great for like 30 minutes, and then you're like, damn it, that check comes.
But then like you need to keep it up. Like you post like now you're flying JSX to Vegas. You just bought a bunch of jewelry. Like, you know, you're doing all these things, but you're really just blowing all your money. Yeah. And like money management when you're first making money is really, really difficult.
It's so hard, man. I feel like that like first year I stepped into making decent money, I feel like I had nothing to show for it because I was just like spend. And I'm glad I learned as early as I did, because think about it. People learn in their 40s and 50s. Like, you and I are 27 years old.
Yeah. They're going to live paycheck to paycheck probably their whole life.
Yeah. And they'll look back and be like, shit, I should have just not inflated my life. So like lifestyle inflation can just kill you, because people make more money and then they feel like they can inflate their lifestyle. So they elevate their lifestyle, get a more expensive apartment, whatever it is. And
you'll always spend what you make. Like you can always find a way to spend what you make.
Exactly.
And you'll justify every bit of it until you can't afford it anymore. And it's way too late. It happens
fast.
Yeah, you're over leveraged really quickly.
Yeah.
Now, debt's not bad.
No, of course not.
There's good ways to use debt.
Yeah.
But usually the people that are overinflating their lifestyle aren't using it to overinflate with buying property.
They're buying their credit card debt. And they have
there's
like
a Rolex on their Amex that they can't pay off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, get the points if
you got to get the points. Big points guy over
I'm
here.
a huge points guy, dude.
Yeah, you need the points.
I love flying for free, and that's like the biggest like it just feels good.
I don't want to fly
pay
for free. I just want the points.
Yeah,
I want my points balance to be bigger than my account balance.
I just want to have a huge balance, and I'm going to be that guy. Like, yeah, I got a ton of points. Don't use them.
I'm just a points guy. Big points guy.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. Me and my buddy, we always talk about splitting the bill, and we just look at each other like when someone decides like, no, I'm going to pay. It's like, oh, you just want the points, don't you?
Yeah. No, seriously, that's
it's
like,
not the write-off. It's the points.
Anytime if we're out like with a group of friends and we get table service, whatever it is that we do, and someone offers pay, I'm like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, you just want the points.
Because you know
you're going to get 6,000 points for this. It's a genius idea, and I'm going to Venmo you and get no points.
Yeah, you know what you're
doing.
Big
points guy. So that was crazy. That went way off topic. So, but you have big goals outside of your real estate investments and stuff like that. And like, what's your 5-year plan? Like, what does like wealth look like to you outside of just having a bunch of money?
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason why I sold that house so quickly in 9 months, I was like, I could flip this thing and take that cash and get into something stable. When I say stable, I'm not saying like a different job. I'm saying, I want to buy storage facilities and build storage facilities. So, like self-storage, right?
Yeah.
So, it's recession proof. Like it's a bulletproof business.
Yeah, everyone has crap that they want to store in there and then eventually pay more for the storage.
Quite literally.
Than the stuff inside of it.
Yeah.
But
if you have a 200 unit property, which is not hard to actually build out, and you're averaging about, I don't know, 1,000, 1,200 a year per unit, that's like 200 and however many, 240 grand a
Big
year in income, right? Big math guy. So the reason why I'm doing that is I was at a poker game one night, and there's this dude who he ordered a Porsche 911 Carrera S or something.
At the poker table?
Yeah, right. He was talking to me about it. He's like, yeah, I just got delivered. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. He's like, yeah, it's because I'm waiting for my GT3. I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, I got one in the meantime because I want to drive a Porsche. It'd be cool. I was like, what do you do for work? And I need to do whatever it is that you do. And he goes, I own a couple of storage facilities. And he's owned them for like 40 years in Ontario. His name's Phil, and he's a super cool guy. And I was like, I need to pick your brain. And so I started picking his brain. And his exact words were, it shits money. That's what he said. And now he's investing in parking garages and all kinds of stuff because he just makes so much money from these facilities that he's owned for so long, and they're all paid off, right? So it's purely profit. And there's not much maintenance. There's not much to do there. So for him, he's like, dude, it's insane. It's the single-handedly best thing I've ever done in my entire life. And now he's, and his son literally manages them, and he lives in a different country. Yeah. And so the fact that his son can manage them from a different country and they're here in California, that shows how little maintenance they are. If you hire and outsource the right things, you can make everything work. So ever since I had that conversation with him, all I've wanted to do is get storage facilities rolling. And that's been my entire goal. Even like when I was going into college, I was like, I just want to make money so I can buy storage.
You've been talking about storage for a long time.
And it's so boring. People are like, dude, like shut up.
Mine's even more boring. I want to buy parking lots.
Hey, yeah. But
it's super boring.
How many people need to park their car? Everybody.
So many people need to park their car. But but they're both underrated businesses.
So boring.
But like you can't talk about them. People are like, that's really cool. You're gonna go buy some tar.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, you're gonna go build like some metal boxes on a piece of land. Like, all right, like I'm just falling asleep now.
Yeah.
But point is like if you have a few of those, you don't have to lift a finger the rest of your life. And so for me, my 5-year goal is I want to at least have one. That's why I'm now like liquidating my multifamily properties and selling those because, in my opinion, I don't want to deal with tenants and toilets. Tenants and toilets sucks.
Yeah,
like water leaks or whatever it is.
It's a great name for a podcast, by the way.
Tenants and toilets.
We should tell John Lattice to.
That'd be pretty good.
List with Lattice.
Yeah,
we should tell him he needs to make a podcast called Tenants and Toilets.
Yeah.
Well, because you've had some struggles with your tenants. You have one unit that you just haven't been able to get filled.
Yeah. No, I had a unit that the person's visa expired and they moved back to India
like
out of the blue.
That you bought the property.
Oh, that was a different tenant. Yeah.
Oh,
I've gone through so many tenants, and
which not every tenant's like you kind of got unlucky in this situation for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And that was just my first property in real estate, just like getting into it, and I learned so much. So I don't regret any of it.
No, it's just a learning lesson, and like you can look at it as a failure, you can look at it as something that's going to teach you how to do it later.
Yeah.
Honestly, the location that your property in was probably not very ideal.
No, actually, it's great. Because there's actually a couple apartment buildings being developed across the street and a bunch of nice restaurants that went in.
So that's the crazy thing.
That
I feel
property
like for leasing, it was a little it wasn't that great, but your property value is going to go crazy because now they're making all these developments.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't like cash flowed like crazy. It's decent. And I now it's full, obviously, so I got tenants in there. But
congratulations! I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I talk to you like every day, and you didn't tell me after a year and a half, you finally.
It's not very exciting. Yeah. But the biggest thing was like, I'm now liquidating my multifamily to go into storage, and it's boring, and boring is good. And that's my goal. So like, I love knocking doors. I love doing what I do. As crazy as that sounds, my biggest thing though is now I just want perpetual income. And everyone says passive income on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, buzzwords.
Yeah, and but it's true.
We're gonna vertically integrate this company.
Yeah, they just know all the buzzwords to sound,
important.
Yeah, sound inclined, with business. But biggest thing is I want to eventually just have a bunch of storage facilities and just not have to work. Whether I decide to get married, have kids, whatever it is that I want to do, I just want to be able to do it full time.
Knowing you, that'll never happen. You could not work. You can barely sit still right now.
I can't sit still.
Yeah, you're going crazy. It's been 45 minutes.
I just want to travel, golf, like hang out, have fun, enjoy my life. And like, number one, like when I got into this and I sacrificed, like I dropped out of school, I was like, this better put me on a 10-year retirement path. Like there's no way I'm going into this and leaving everything behind, degrees, whatever, like that I could get a, quote unquote, like solid, safe job.
A real job?
A real job. Yeah. A real job. And nothing against that. Like if that's your speed, then do it and do it well. But like for me, it just doesn't work. I'm just definitely around.
No, and like there's
square
definitely
peg in a round hole.
An argument to say like what we do is crazy and we work too hard and we put too much into this and too much pressure on ourselves and all these things and we work around the clock.
Yeah.
We don't have like a clock out. Cool, I'll deal with this tomorrow at 9 a.m.
No, I work 24/7.
But also like we refuse to just be in another desk and just make enough to get by.
Dude, if I had to if I had to put in overtime but not make the exact money for what I put in, like that's what I love about sales in general. So not even door to door. Like people don't have to be like, okay, I gotta go knock on doors now to make good money. But just sales in general. Sales drives any business, right? So like salespeople get paid first. Everyone gets paid after that. Yeah. And it's because otherwise nobody eats, right? So I'm just a firm believer. If you want to make good money and level up, and it doesn't have to be that you have to make $1 million tomorrow, but just level up from wherever you're at, go into sales. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You could be selling window washing. You could be selling, I know someone who sells like AstroTurf, makes a ton of money. You name it.
Yeah, there's a ton of random businesses that make good money. I used to paint dead grass with my dad. We just paint it green.
That's amazing. I love that.
I mean,
you basically had a paint gun, and they're like, "All right, here's $400."
Yeah, basically what it was. It was a paint gun, but like we also we sold mattresses for a little bit, and it was a reasonable money maker. It's just like literally backbreaking work.
Yeah,
like they're heavy as fuck.
It's physically exhausting.
Yeah.
Where sales
you need help.
Sales is mentally exhausting, but like
it's also fun. There's so many clients that make the job worth it again, and when they're really appreciative and you actually put them in a better position, which everyone always thinks we're trying to sell them to screw them over,
which is crazy. But yeah,
that's probably not legal in most cases. But
yeah, you can't.
When someone actually sees the value we provide, it's really fulfilling as a job.
Yeah, and as much as I always like to say don't follow your passion, follow your skill, your whatever you can excel at. You'll find passion if you're good at something. Yeah. That's what I found. And I didn't ever think I would. I thought it was just a means to an end, right? I thought it was just a way to get investment properties or whatever I wanted to do, storage and stuff. That's what I thought this was for. And I realized quickly, I was like, holy crap, if I go a week without knocking on doors or running you
go crazy.
I go nuts.
Yeah.
And I love it now. I just live for it. I love helping people develop. The most fulfilling thing, in my opinion, is, and a lot of people probably agree, because when you get to a level of income or leadership that you're cool, I've done X, Y, and Z, and now what's next? of course, investments and all that are fun to use as a next level or next step, a goal, like something that'll drive you. But what really drives you, at least drives me, is developing people into better salespeople. That's so much fun because like the fulfillment you get from somebody hitting a different level that they've never hit before, right? Like making income that they've never made, leveling up their life, like it touches you like just in a different way that like you can't get that satisfaction or that like level of achievement from anything else.
I mean, that's one of my big goals is to make someone who wasn't in a track to be successful a millionaire.
It's so
like
fun.
I would feel so accomplished if I was able to get there because it shows my work and my knowledge, and also like watching them grow is incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like it's so fulfilling. There's a different level of fulfillment there where you can't help but enjoy it, and that's passion. When you and so it's not that solar is my passion. It's like people is my passion. Developing people into whether they're salespeople or like just leaders, whatever it is that they want to be. Like that's so much fun.
Yeah, you're just changing the trajectory of their life. So it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
So if you had advice for someone sitting on their parents' couch right now that doesn't know what to do, how do they get to a point where like you are?
Just ready, fire, I am, dude. As much as I love saying that.
Should I stick with your catchphrase here?
No, but it's true. Just do something. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but just do it and don't think about it. Just do it. Whether your outcome's going to be great or terrible.
Do it.
Do it. Yeah, the Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
But seriously, just get up and do it and don't think about it because people spend time on the couch thinking about what can go wrong. And you actually spent so much time thinking about what can go wrong that you actually probably missed out on a ton of earning potential if that's your goal.
Yeah.
Or development, whatever your goal is. But
I mean, even if
it's not financial,
you just made some.
Yeah.
Like I made this mistake most of my 20s. I just wasn't investing, and if I started investing when I was 21 into like an IRA or something like that,
yeah,
it would have been like 5x what it was from when I started a year ago.
Yeah.
And like 5x in 30 years is a lot because like it's the difference of like a couple million and a lot of million.
Many millions.
Yeah. Millions and millions of times.
Yeah. People just need to stop thinking about what can happen or what people think. Like I love the fact that people judged me for what I was doing at the time because it just drove me to do more and prove people wrong. And when I prove people wrong now, like those people are like, fuck, I'm sorry. Like they're like, damn, I doubted you, and I'm sorry. Like, I definitely didn't expect this to go where it went, right? But, like, I didn't know where it would go.
I mean, the thing is, a lot of it is jealousy. Like, they're jealous that you have the willpower to just be like, I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm going to make my dreams come true. And not a lot of people have that.
So what I think is it's probably from, like, a deeper level of self-doubt that people do that. And I've actually, like, if I think about the people I grew up with, and the amount of like kids I grew up with that I was like friends with at the time, I don't talk to them anymore. Like, I think one thing is just get used to having less and less friends, but having quality friends, right? Like,
yeah,
like I had some people doubt or just put like these bad thoughts that I was never going to be anything, whatever it was that they thought I'd become. Like, they thought I just wouldn't become anything. And those people, I haven't talked to them, and if I did, I wouldn't get anything out of it. Like, there's no benefit there. So be picky. Like, you reserve the right. You only have one life, and life's not long. Life is too short to worry about what people think about you and like what, if they're doubting you, like this pie in the sky, like, goal of yours. It's like, no, just do it. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Just do it.
And you need to surround yourself with people who have a similar goal, if not a higher one, or else you'll just cap yourself out being the smartest and wealthiest in the room.
Yeah. If you have 4 friends that are losers, you'll be the 5th, man.
Very true.
4 millionaires that are friends, you'll be the 5th. So I'm a firm believer in that. Surround yourself with people that you want to become. Like, it sounds weird. It sounds like you're envying them, but like, it's true. Like, if you envy someone's lifestyle and they've done the proper work to get there and they're a hard worker and like you envy that, put yourself around them. And even if you're just putting it like, or if it's, for example, like I had a buddy who's in real estate and he's like, dude, I just, like, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So, like, I just want to find whoever's the most successful in the field and just, even if it's for free, I'll shadow them, right? Like, whatever it is, find that person that does more than you. And that's what I did in solar, actually. His name's Don, and I just, like, he took me kind of under his wing in a way and taught me a bunch about leadership and, like, development and running sales teams. And the next thing you know, I'm running a 60-person sales team. So you'll become who you put yourself around. It just happens.
Yeah. Well, you've done a lot since I've known you. It's actually been very impressive watching you jump around from career to career, and I'm glad you finally found something that works.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, long time, but
so
I did it fast, so failed fast.
You sell solar all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
How do people reach out? How would someone, even if it's someone who wants to come join your sales team, like, how do they find you? How do they join the team? Or if there's a homeowner out there that wants to put solar on their home, like, where do they go?
Yeah, Instagram's the easy way to do it. Daniel Snow. I don't even know what my username is. Let's see.
Why don't you figure that out real quick so we can
let's see where you
make
can
some money.
You can at me. Daniel__Snow. That is my
I'll put that on the screen somewhere.
Instagram handle.
Yeah. But it was great having you on. I love hearing your story. I know I was a part of a lot of it, like literally there to watch most of these things happen. Yeah. And it's cool seeing where you're at, and I enjoy
hanging out,
being in the same room as you compared to where we started in high school.
Yeah, we come a long way, both of us, and I'm really proud of you to where you started and where what you've achieved and kind of what you become. It's awesome to see it, and like I really appreciate you having me today. Thanks, dude.
Of course.
All right.
Don't get fucked. To everyone who made it to the end, I appreciate you and all the support you've given so far. Stay tuned for weekly episodes, and if you know anyone who might be a good candidate for the show, please drop it in the comments below or shoot me a DM.